I would say, it's pretty old hat, I would go back to the old voting systems that would have dominated the last election. Mainly first past the vote, post for AV, and we had a referendum, and unfortunately it was kind of a... well, because, for one thing, it doesn't represent them. In fact, it basically represents the winning side in Bath, the people who voted for Don Foster, which nothing against Don Foster personally, but if you're a member of the Green Party, you can just vote bye-bye. And you can't, and whilst that's sort of true of the AV system as well, there are like the single transferable vote, which didn't even get a look in at the last election when the Lib Dems and the Conservatives got together and made the deal. It was kind of a sellout, and the reason why everyone's stuck with first past the post is because better the devil you know. I confess ignorance to a local level, but on a national level, it's pretty clear that we don't have a coalition government. We have a Tory government, just with some yellow members in it. That's the problem with it. Well, the results are pretty appropriately timed with returning to Thatcherism, for example. The cuts are...
Rest in peace.
The cuts are unbearable.
Well, I don't really think it makes that much difference, to be honest, because what they'll do is they'll just do the standard thing where they'll say, oh, we've got to cut some taxes here, but then we'll pay you less here or something. So it's all about basically transferring what you should be seeing, which is over here, to over here. And so you're looking over here and going, oh, we've got this, but then we'll just be taking that away. So it's just like, kind of like, well, I don't really. I have more faith on the social level, which is basically just more one-to-ones and the people I actually speak with.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that there is a massive, divide, obviously, between the rich and the poor here, and consequently there's a lot of narcissism because and the people that get affected the most are the middle classes because they had money once and they were of a certain social status, and now all of a sudden that's gone, but they're still trying to maintain it. They're still trying to maintain the image that they have, what they had before, which they don't, obviously. And so, consequently, on a social level, there's a lot of angst and anger. Particularly, the lower classes are very angry, especially in Portland, which is why you tend to have a lot of angry young lads causing problems and joining gangs and stuff like that. And the problem is, it's to do with how people are taxed. Because obviously, if you're closer to power, you're gonna put your deals in here and deals in there, so you'll get taxed less. And a lot of the wealthy have offshore saving funds and stuff like that, where they can avoid tax, or they can put it into a business and then therefore avoid tax, or they can put it into a charity, and quite a lot of them do that as well. So they'll actually put money in a charity, and then that will avoid tax as well. So they need to be regulated. We need a regulation body that can actually go up to a government level, and we don't. We have that, but we don't. It doesn't really work efficiently. It doesn't work as efficiently as it should. It has to be approached really because you have to be very specific, and that's the problem. I'm not educated enough to be specific, because I couldn't turn around and say the law needs to be changed from this to this. A slight tweak. I don't know how to tweak it because I don't know the laws, but I do know that we do need to get some lawyers in, or some kind of legal body funded by something or another that will actually be able to...
We would also need to change the way we learn about things. Like, for example, we need to stop taking institutions like the Daily Mail seriously. We need to find out more things directly. We need to stop being told what our opinion should be and form an opinion based on the facts. And whilst every single word ever written or spoken is biased in some way, you can at least be more controlled by looking at it directly. And the silver bullet, in my opinion, is education. If you overhaul the education system, like remove exams, for example, make sure things that everyone learns are things that you encourage them to learn so that they want to learn, make it interesting, and also with examinations, the way you revise for an exam, cram everything into your short-term memory. So as soon as the exam's over, you've forgotten everything. If the education system is utterly overhauled, teachers are given the respect that they deserve and the funds that they deserve, it wouldn't solve everything tomorrow, but it would do a lot of good in 30 years.